See? Okay, microphone's up. Start a new run. And today's run is going to have export focus and faint suns. Okay. For those who don't know, export focus means plans with 4 or more exports, so with more than double if they were prosperous. So it's just can be quite strong. And faint suns means we have more ice balls, which is, it's an interesting combination, certainly. And for our races and perks, we're going to get Vittori, Ephorians, and Bekar this time. With us our perks, researchers, and novelty traders. Not too much of a fan of researchers, but maybe we can make it work for something. We do have quantum sensors available, as well as scenic tourism, deep drilling over here. There's sleep replacement, which I think an early sleep replacement might be the thing we want to do, actually, with our researchers. Sleep replacement is quite the powerful tech, as we've already realized on TOF. So yeah, lurk and watch. Isn't that what we all do? I've been doing that for years with with a bunch of streamers, but I've decided, let's go stream my own gameplays. And I really like this game, so I was like, let's specialize in slipways. We're going to specialize in slipways, then, I better do well at it. Okay, so first off, there's quantum sensors and a bunch of other things. But mostly these, for their ability to save a lot of time. There's only 4 science, right? They usually end up saving more time than you would expect them to do. They also allow you to explore for more. Okay, so what would be a good start? Ideally, a set of as many plans as possible, and then just a setup that requires just a single scan, hopefully. This seems like the most we can possibly get. We've kind of we can hit 4 here, we can hit 5 there. Well, these combine well, actually, together. Alright, so go ahead and... Oh, we only get 4 out of the 6 that were possible. We have a perk, or like a quirk that gives us loads of ice balls, I believe. Yeah, Faint Suns does that. So we're going to have a lot of them. There are no freeze-resistant bots. That's a tech that comes up quite often. So you got to find the use for those ice balls. Well, exploding them is one use, I suppose. Swapping them is another. There's also hyperdrives available. Alright, so I believe that will be obstructed. Yes. Now, I do not know if I want to make ore here, because perhaps it will be necessary to make robots. So the thing we've realized is that this isn't really a great idea to start off with. I mean, I guess, double ore for an ore laboratory setup later is not too bad when you have deep drilling available. They do yield 30% more income, which is just enough to get 1 additional credit for every ore. But it's just 1 credit for each ore that you actually use. And using ore is kind of difficult for the Bekar. Right. Oh, it's this set, right. I was like, that was a set of 5 we could get, right? Okay. I mean, I think that's not too bad. Just a case of missing robots for food. But there are 2 possible avenues to get that later. I'm thinking starting with the Arctic world is not too terrible. Also, we could make a Gaia world as well, right? Getting us potentially biomatter science in this area and ore science in this area with up to 2 humans and 2 ore, and here up to 2 biomatter and at least 1 human. Okay. I think I want to find out what these are. It's a bit slow. Huh. Yeah, I mean... Right? The thing is, though, it might be hard to get the forebear ruin. It might also be difficult to get the food used in multiple places. But that can't reach. If you could make food there, that would work. I don't know precisely where I want the food to be made. Is our main issue. Okay, so... There is a forge world which could make a robot as well. That would work. But then you didn't have goods available, right? So, you know, this is also an option. Giving us goods. I wonder where the food's going to come from, really. I mean, maybe from here. And then we could have another colony there. The biomatter lab would not happen. But there is use for the second biomatter as well. I think I'm fine with that. We'll found the agro world because it's the cheapest one, and I don't really want to scan too much because of the Bakar's potential quests. We don't have the Dender, so the agro world, there won't be no quests regarding that we're wasting time on. Okay, two-way trades. Yeah, there it is. Discover 8 planets, right? Got a remnant to successful, which could be this one, but you know, there's no plan to give it. Well, it could get water from there, I suppose. There's no real plan to give it humans, but you know, any of these can be easily a colony. I think it'll be easier to do than the remnant planet. On the other hand, Aphorians do give us a lot of money if we get it going. And two-way trades are not that hard to do for us. Like, if I were to imagine... Yeah, that's in range. And then we should do the Aphorians then. And then also the discovery. Alright, so let's connect that so we get additional humans. And then, you know, there's... I think no reason not to do as many two-way trades as possible, as early as possible. Those make more money than single-way trades. I'll go ahead and start with the fairly expensive connection here. That gets us to 33. Okay. And then I would guess that because this is outputting in 2 directions, that the most trade income we can get at this point would be to add the scavenger world in. It's us 2 more income, and this one as well. For 4 more. Okay. Yeah, the problem is like time, right? We can't really afford these long connections at this point in time. On the other hand, we could add in the forebear ruin, right? Of course, that would mean possibly not doing this connection. The thing is, we don't have any unlocks to be able to use the forebear ruin. So perhaps we just forgo this area for now. And we add in this first, giving us the two-way trade. And potentially... It does make some sense to do it this way. Also, you know... Right, so we'd want to sort of wait a little bit now, because of that empire size. So I think the best way to spend our time now is just try to do some scans, some efficient ones. Try to use the money better. don't know what I want to make here. Perhaps we do want to make a Gaia world. It does make some good sense, doesn't it? Like there's water that wants to go here. That would make it successful as well. Or there, right? There's two locations for it, actually. I'm beginning to like that idea. Although we're forgoing the Forebear Ruin for a bit. Maybe we can somehow... Yeah, we could maybe somehow get the swamp. And then use that in some way. Although that's, you know, a somehow, because we don't have a plan to make food for it. I mean, yeah, this could make food, right? But then it needs biomatter, which it could get from here then, right? But then both of these want robots, which there is no plan for. So I'm not sure, right? In any case, we can settle this Gaia world. To not waste any time. Which that creates a two-way trade. Which we might get another mission for two-way trades for the Ephorians. So the best thing to do would be to scan. That didn't end up being very productive, did it? That ice ball's kind of in the way. One more then. And that unlocks the new tasks. Yeah, see, we can get 5 more pairs with two-way trades. Where do they want us to explore? All the way over there. There's 60 credits on that, which might make me go for it. It's pretty far away though. I think 3 signs might be better. But I think the primary thing to do first is to get some more two-way trades so I can make some money. Oh, there's one. Let me use up the entire planet here. That's good. This one's also almost entirely used up. Hold on. If I were to found this place, then we can use up this asteroid completely and end up making this successful. It also has enough trades already to become prosperous at this point, which is why I'm sort of interested in that. It just needs some partners that are successful. I don't know which ones that would be. We don't have the Dender, so there's no possibility of getting humans out of the Forebear Ruin, which would kind of be the thing you'd want to do. Although we could do this later on. Blow up the lava planet and connect in a human planet. And then that would allow it to upgrade. And then, you know, the other water could go in here as well. Unfortunately, I can't hit the biomatter there. It's obstructed. We can't really afford a science lab at this point. 7 credits for that. Can't we just use an asteroid somewhere? I guess this one, perhaps? Like this might be another ice ball. I do think we'll use this Earth-like at some point. The idea would be to connect in the Forebear Ruin. Robots and... Actually, ore over here, right? Yeah, that's kind of nice, isn't it? I mean, that basically sort of makes it cheaper to build the lab, because otherwise we would have made a very expensive connection there. I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and scan over here to end the year. Okay, there's basically nothing. Nice. 5%. We need to make sure that we don't let it get to 8%, basically. This one's at 4, this one's at 2. Not sure how we get humans in there, but that might be solved much later in the game. The idea would be to mine over here to get another two-way trade, getting us to 2 out of 5. If we ever get to 5 out of 5, we get a large boost of money. What am I making here? Probably water. because there are 2 nearby consumers. 18 for the asteroid. We get water. We also end up using up all of the things in this planet, which might actually not be what you want. Because of a lack of science. But on the other hand, you know, struggling planets are bad for income, so perhaps we are forced to do so. And this human here could find a use, but okay, we're in November. I don't think I want to found this because it has 3 upkeep, right? It's quite high. Comparatively speaking, right? Comparatively speaking. If there were food in this area, I would like to know. I'd also really like to get, maybe colonize this actually. That's a bit risky, but it allows me to get Z quantum sensors up, which will save us a lot of time. We can also scavenge anything useful if I want to at some point, but more importantly, that expands our vision. And allows you to get much more efficient scans. Okay, so 5 two-way trades. Right, well, let's have a look if we got ourselves a free one up here. We don't, but we do have the ability to make microchip. Although, you know, those aren't too bad, but we have a lack of food in like multiple places. And a lack of robots in other places. Machine sentience, huh? Isn't that like use robots as people, right? It's neat, I suppose. There's a chip available there if I ever wanted. And the tricky part is making use of two-way trades, which we don't have many of on offer. So if I were to make this a Gaia world, hypothetically, we'd have access to another two-way trade. Gaia world. But again, there would be no food. Do we can't get food processor structures, right? We can get xenotourism for what it's worth. Although we don't really have a use for it. We could also build a laboratory at some point. Probably before the 15 mark, I would imagine, would be the best moment to do so. There's also an argument to be made to just make food somewhere. There are all the Arctic planets. We don't have any sort of climate control. Like a large quantity of biomatter is available, but no robots are available. I mean, we could maybe use humans as robots much later in the game. We're at -5, -6. You really have to do this one at this point, I think. We cannot really delay it any longer, so... So I have 32 income with that. How many planets are red? 4. I'll try to make it less, right? Reduce it down to a lower number. We can help it. We could take this asteroid for 12. It'd still be... I don't think I'll be colonizing that Arctic anytime soon. I do prefer keeping all these uncolonizable planets alive, if we could. And not taking geoharvesting, because of the ability that we get matter transposition much later in the game, which will allow you to say transport in say forage rolls for goods, right? Or whatever you need to make prosperous planets with hyperlanes. Which this is quite a good combination. But of course, if you get geo-harvesting, then it becomes quite difficult to swap things because you remove many of the planets. You make the connections longer, and it just becomes more difficult in general to do stuff. Okay, let's have this scan. Yeah, there's no easy way to get a human, is there? Over here. It's called Last Chance. Well, good name. Well, that does the trick. It's very expensive. But it does do the trick. Do we have like a way of... I guess we could utilize this one, right? I think I should found this one first, to be honest. This has 4%, 6%, 5%. So this one really needs to be solved next, before the end of next year. We have 2 more planets until we get to the empire size limit. So it's a good idea to keep a track of how we're going to solve things. I think I want to build an Arctic farm. Where? I have no clue, but it's one of these 3. And let's build it over here. And this one over there, right? So this one will need the most possible income. 40. We can get 47. I think I want the 47. I think we're getting to the 5 two-way trades. Gets us 51 monies. And then we'll get to 15 planets, and then we'll go ahead and construct some science. There's a 5 and a 4. And this new one, right? So again, we have 5 planets that are struggling. Okay, so let's use next year to build a lab. We can do 2 scans. Build the lab. So do we need to do 2 scans? Right, we need 2 more two-way trades, right? Well, first things first, let's go ahead and connect this in. As we can see, there are quite a few good resources here. Or we can sell it off slowly, or we can get 49. That's quite a high amount. You might want the 49. There's unfortunately no real way of upgrading your production even further, is there, in the late game? No. We don't have access to those techs. We don't have skill-up facilities available. Which would be the way to make more biomatter. Although, you know, you could potentially use a hyperlane much later on. Same here. And so there are solutions. Not very good ones, but there are solutions. To make enough food. I wouldn't make them... I wouldn't call them the best, though. Okay, for that matter... Is that available as well? Is there anything better we might want? Not really. So let's go ahead and scan over here. 3408. Okay, this should be the year where we get our science going. Which involves a laboratory over here. And this connection shouldn't be made too long, actually. So that once we unlock hyperlanes, we can immediately build it. 14 is, I believe, just the right amount to be looking for. Also, I'm making prosperous planets just by building that, which is very nice. Okay. I don't know if I should invest the 15 right now. I don't see why not, though. I'll take this asteroid for 6. Maybe I should even take the 48, to be honest. Well, then we should have taken the 50 earlier, then. I think we'll try to leave that for later. Can manage it in some way. Yeah, we need to pre-connect this, otherwise it will go the wrong way. It needs to go into there, thank you very much. Don't know what to do with this chip. Singular. Okay, so that forms a two-way trade. And yeah, that's about it really. So we're gonna have to use some asteroids if I want to get to October to be able to found a planet efficiently. Once we do though, we should be able to get... I mean, one thing we could do, although it's going to probably lead to this thing not being able to do anything, is to make biomatter. Also, actually, isn't that super good? I think it is. Yeah, we're not using these asteroids in the best possible way, right? So we're only getting 6 out of them. But it's needed to advance the clock while also not, you know, throwing away the money, and while also trying to use this, and at the same time trying to utilize this as well in an effective way. Founding this one is probably a good idea. Okay, that's 4 out of 5. 1 left. So just do this, right? Unless there's a better two-way trade that does not involve founding a planet that I actually don't really want. I don't think there is, though. There's no... I mean, maybe we should check this out. Ah, there, that's better. This can just be a very simple and very effective two-way trade. Which that unlocks 80 credits. Which is sorely needed. Okay, get 2 ore-producing plants successful. Well, this is one. Fortunately, we already did these 2. Sure. I don't want 7 more two-way trades. The two-way trades are kind of difficult to do. Right, so we can get either deep drilling or xenotourism. How much does deep drilling actually give? 4 monies per year? It's not a whole lot, is it? It's only on mineral planets too, but we have 2 of those. And we will be able to get this one upgraded further. And there's one over here as well still. Like, are we going to make tourist facilities? It doesn't really look like it, does it? We're going to make those very effectively. They could be good in a later game though, that's the thing. I could be swapping in ocean worlds and whatnot to make some tourist facilities in at the very end. The thing is, if I want xenotourism, I should be able to use it at least once right now. Yeah, like this, right? But it's expensive and we can only get it once upgraded. It would be great if we got a human planet here, then we had the things, and then, you know, this would be great. Xenotourism world, but it's the wrong type and not. I think we're going for deep drilling. Enlightenment's available as well as a project. We don't have any other projects available, so it might be okay to take it. It'll unlock an additional human here, which could be sent in. It'll also make things prosperous much easier. Right. Yeah, that's out of range as well as constructed. Another wave augmentation could help. Anyway, we needed to get this one before the end of next year, so we're going to have to make a colony here. Also getting these 2 techs quickly. Right. So it might be a good idea to actually save up for sleep replacement first, which is kind of crazy, but it'll do something. So what is the good tech to get now? Maybe it's Trade League. That's kind of a strange thing to get. As long as you have an area where you have, you know, a bunch of different resources. They have to be resources though, humans don't count, but something like food does count. Right, so food or water, right, that sort of thing, combination does count. And because we can be making something like robots over here, right, we can get ore, food, and a robot. If we can get something else too, that would be even better. Right, we get chips over here, right? We get a robot over there. Oh, these will connect. They will be out of range, so we would need longer slipways as well. Well, there's an opportunity to get trade hubs to do something here. I don't know if I'd want to make robots. It does seem okay. It'll get you one more import. This like food planet over here. Anyway, let's have a look at what's over here. Okay. We can make money or science. It's a bit unfortunate that there's really only one possible location that we can get this into. Like, this gives us 6 income. So, in order to make up the 45 difference that it's going to effectively cost, right? Because we're foregoing this 25, we can just sort of immediately get. With 6 income a year, that would take 8 years, 7.5 before it makes up for it. I don't know if that's good enough. Trade League is expensive as well, right? 25. Okay, anyway, I wanted to get this Bakar mission. Do I want bots here or do I want goods here? I don't know. Let's find out. The thing is, there's not much use for a robot. I mean, I guess I could make food here. But again, it's out of range of everything and anything and everything. But so would goods be out of range of anything and everything. We could make microchips, but again, like, I guess robots can at least be used there. That's about the best. Is there any other useful ore? Yeah, there's this one, right? That's really what we're trying to do. Oh. All right. I think we've got our winner here. This area over here seems good. You're at 7% though, so we need to fix you. That's really no good way of doing that, is there? Like, you need food. Like, I don't want to make more of these. I guess we're gonna make this food, because that could be a solution. Okay. Also, let's go ahead and use up additional connections that can just be made without much hassle. Okay. There's also an argument to be made to make a water lab at some point. I think we'll do that at 23. I think I'll pick up an asteroid at the end of this year. Yeah. That gets us to 95. Should be enough to tide us over this year as well. There's geo-harvesting available. There's wave augmentation available. Getting one more tech gets us an 8 science refund from the Vittori. More importantly, we want to complete the Bakara and Vittori and then hopefully get an easy enough Aphorian mission so we can get sleep replacement early enough for it to really be good for us. So that is a successful ore producing world. Also, this is going to be making quite a bit of money, I would imagine. Yeah, it's already making 10. So let's go ahead and get this food here. Should get 2 upgraded colonies. We can use 1 human in there. Might be okay to build a water lab to be here, to be honest. Yeah, we'll do that as well. Where will I make robots for this? I mean, I guess I could do that in here as well. Yeah, it'll get everything it needs. Well, that final connection might not be desirable. all things considered. We'll plonk in a laboratory instead. Because we're at 23, right? This would be an excellent time to be building laboratories. There's not many other good locations for them, though. We wanted to do something maybe with Trade League, right? I think that makes quite a bit of sense to try to do Trade League, yeah. 5%, 6%, 3%. Right, there's only 4 unhappy plants at this point, right? Ooh, 7% there though. Hold on a second. Are we short by like the one thing? Yeah, but if I do it, then... Well... Then maybe we don't build this one. Right? Instead, what we do is we fix this up first, so we don't get to be hit by the 8%. So we'll go ahead and do that. We're constantly trying to not take those extra penalties. That's another nasty penalty that we don't want to take. Was there anything else we did? There were some other connections we made, right? Well, that at least could be made somewhere. Well, there was this whole mess, right? But we can't do that right now because this had more connections. That's why it took more time, right? That makes some sense. It's like I'm not ending up at the same point that we were before. Is something going on here? There kind of is, right? Kind of a little bit. If only we had a human info here, right? And the biometric would be fixable. Well, anyway. I think we can scan this one. And then we should look into doing, well, I guess an additional scan somewhere. It's the most area with the most, I think this has the best signal density. 3 more Arctics, right? Frosty. Right, this one, right? Are we happy with the money situation, or am I willing to take 60 at this point? Because this is a good point to take a money thing. Perhaps not, though. We could also just keep going until we hit sleep replacement, but that wouldn't be... I think that wouldn't be the best. Actually, you know what? I think I'll take Enlightenment right now over Trade League. Because that unlocks another technology, and more importantly, it unlocks more additional science like that. And you know, it turns it into prosperous. Not unimportant. There's also Enlightenment to be had here or there, but in those cases, I'm not sure if I want to enlighten them or give them goods. Either way would work, right? And giving them goods, of course, gives you more trade income than Enlightenment would. But Enlightenment is great for this one because it's just going to be difficult to get goods in there. I mean, with swap, right? This could be swapped in, but we wanted to use it for something, and I mean, at the same time, right? I don't know. Anyway, a scavenger roll over here would be great. Also, you would be okay to enlighten, I think. Because you're far away in the corner and could use an additional human output. If we can use the human that it outputs when enlightening it, I think it's a good idea to do so. If you can't, though, I don't know. Our income stays at 50 or so. Now we have some prosperous plants in the center. There's 4 of them. That's good news. 7. I think we're going to let one of them go to 8. I think this one is, well, we're giving up on that. Can't get them all. What about this? mean, maybe, but again, this one's also going to be very hard to keep up. I think we're also giving up that one. So we're going to have 2 permanent shortages this time. I don't want to give up on that, though. I want to save you. I also really want to get another ore plant to successful for the Bakar mission. Right, gives money. That could be this one. Honestly. Is there a good argument to be made for it? Yeah, pretty much. There's also this connection, by the way. Just a good in there. Nothing wrong with that. I don't really know how we... Actually, we can enlighten you, right? This would use up one of the ores. We could... suppose we could make another ore lab. We can make 2 ore labs. Just to get use out of all the ore that we're going to be making. It's like, what am I going to use this ore for? Right? That's usually the problem with it. Like, how can you use it? We could blow up the planet. The lava planet. With this. We might end up to get in that order. And then, you know, that would unlock things as well. Huh. Like if we get the geo-harvesting, then that unlocks hyperdrives, right? Essentially. And that would mean the ability to get this in, right? On this side, as well as on this side. We'd blow this up, get the two-way trade. We would need water. Which could come from here or here. It's obstructed. Annoying. I mean, or here, right? Although I wouldn't know where to get the human from then. That connection, and then, you know, something over here. I would imagine a robot. Right. That would be a plan to make a successful world for you. Is it a good plan? Not really, because it not really does the things I want to do. So what about the other option? The other option's over here, which is not bad either. Where's the water none? Oh, right. We need to use this for water. So that's the major issue over here, right? Sure, right. We can make that work. But then it doesn't have another... This doesn't have another output. So it can't become successful. They need 2 outputs to become successful. This one's already used up all its humans. There's this, but it has only 1 output. Outputs is the hard part for mineral worlds. This one is like excellently positioned with a lot of outputs, which is why I'm like, maybe. There's also a connection for 10 there, right? If you could somehow have the sleep replacement already. That's expensive in regards to science. I guess we're going for this plan then. Or this one. Huh. Like, what happens if I get gravitic tugs? We could tug this lava out of the way, and then we could tug planets and then swap them. Which is very fancy. I want to try it. Like, instead of going with geo-harvesting, which, you know, it's tried and true, I suppose, right? But, like, the ability to move planets, swap them, and then hyperlane as well, could lead to some, like, you know, like an easy way to get lots of things working, basically. So then how do you use our time most effectively? I guess it would be to get this mine as good as it can be, right? Well, this is an expensive proposition now. Are there no connections we can still make or something we can still do with a little bit of time we have? Because the Bakar Tech, what's it? The graphitic tugs do cost 27. How much is the total going to cost? Like 27, 47, another 40 here, 87 or so, another 40 here, 127, another 40 there, 167 and 50 there, 217, right? Like 220 science. We have 12 more years and we have only like 120 science, so we need to more than double the science output quite quickly. That's going to be the difficult thing to do. Are we up for that? Well, that's a start, right? Should I then perhaps... go back to this situation where we're at 23. Grab the 67. Right. Wait, hold on a second. Grab the 72. Ah. Order error there. Only have 151. More money. More cash is needed. Because then, with that additional money, will this work if I enlighten you? You do have an extra human available then, right? So can I put this in such a way that this can exit it for less than 14 or less? It's not quite close enough yet. Yeah, that'll do. I want that connection too. That's okay. Astra's not in the way, that's nice. I'll pay the extra cost for this. It only makes a single point right now, but it'll make more, I think. Will it? It won't really, right? It's not really worth doing. Sure, this becomes prosperous, but you know, that works just as well. And it's cheaper. We're going to go ahead and go with this direction over here. Don't really know how we're going to get more science though. It's going to be a bit of a conundrum, isn't it? I mean, it's out of range, right? If only we make some more bots. Because a bot lab would be fine too. I mean, I guess we could output all this ore right into another lab with hyperlanes. We need to unlock them. Like, we could get xenotourism to get hyperlanes more quickly. Like, we don't particularly need the gravitic tugs then. But it's like another 2 or 3 years away, right? But if we take the gravitic tugs there away, they're even more years away, and it takes even more science to get things. We don't really have any stuff that... Well, doing the gravitic tugs gets us 2 science and 60 credits, which might yield more in the short term as well. Also, there's this one available as well. It's certainly possible to get yeah. that, right? Actually, we could do a biometric lab here. I think that's what we're going to do. If we take our Riddick tugs. Because we can tug this one out of the way. Right, go sit over there for a while. We'll swap you later with something more useful, but for now... want to do. Anyway, I wanted to get some other lab, and I forgot what I wanted to throw into it. I mean, the chip lab might not be too terrible. Like, if we have Enlightenment, we could just enlighten this, and then, you know, that's fine. Of course, it makes some sense to scout with that 1 month, because otherwise you'd be spending a lot of money on doing nothing. Also, that makes you successful, right? You had a problem outputting humans anyway. Is that in range? It will be with expanded hyperlane, so I suppose we could throw this out as well. Need to be careful not to settle too many planets so that we can actually still swap things into the center. Because otherwise that might end up being difficult. But that's 4 science at the very least. We want to get it going a little quicker. One thing we could just do is just get 1 more for 20. Maybe we should have done that way earlier then. But maybe not, because we were kind of low on money as well. So. Let's go ahead and complete that connection. So we got only 4 planets that are struggling now. One of which can be solved very, very rapidly. Just like that. The only thing we'd really want here is some robots, right? The idea would be to get the sleep replacement, really. goods, robots, and there's one more. We're missing food. If we could use either like a couple of those resources, we're good. That's one's out of range. We knew that. That one's in range. We have the ability to tug planets. So is there a way to tug this particular planet to put it in range of all the things it might want? Now we're out of range of that. In range of you. In range of you. Okay. Cool. Is there a better way to do this? That's in range. That is not. So we could tug it out ever so slightly. That puts it in range. And in range. And in range but obstructed, but you know what, we could say to this ice ball, just go ahead and move you out of the way. There we go. And then we could get a colony that gets us an additional point of science. And which can also connect to multiple places. We're out of money though. And at the same time, you know, that's one more of the resources, right? Go ahead and do that, I suppose. It's going to be always out of range. I was like, can I maybe get some more colonies? Like this one would maybe be good to connect, I think. Also 30 planets though, so we can only do one more before it becomes really expensive. Oh, we can get goods here. We could somehow solve that. We can get goods in and unlock that. We could also just send a robot though. Mission complete. And now we unlock sleep replacement. We're just able to afford it. And get lots of wealth. Okay. Oh, we should have looked at this, I suppose. Could have gone this mission halfway done. We'll go ahead and get these two though. I was a little too enthusiastic about my sleep replacement, right? We need to make goods for one mission, which is, I guess, is fine. We're going to make some. Yes, we took some enlightenments on certain planets, but we can still use goods in quite a few other places. One way to make some goods is this. So that's, you know, 2 out of the 6. There's a connection there to be had. We now have 180 income, which is, you know, that's not bad. So could we use that to make some science? Potentially, right? The thing is, the thing we really want at this point is some hyperlanes, so we can actually get, you know, get more science in various places. You know, this connection over here, right? And that connection is, you know, that's 2 more science in 2 cases. There's also robots here, and there are humans here, which could, you know. Sure, right? If you could get there, then that would work. You also get discounts on hyperdrives, right? Because you got the Euphorian discount, which is quite a useful thing to have. And the final tech we'd really want to swap, really. Like that seems like an excellent idea. There's no money to be had in any of these, right? Is there? No. We're in only June and we're already down to 6, so it's like, well, we could take some asteroids. And ideally, again, we wait until October, so we don't pay the 32. Although the 32 is not as bad if you have 180 income. Yeah, see, there are forge builds available. We just want to swap them in if we want to really use them. Although we have graphitic tugs, we could tug things in. That works too. Like we can get upgraded tugs. Those are much cheaper than swap 2, right? It's only 20 instead of 36. We could just sort of take these and start tugging them here. It would take time, yes, but so would swap. So either way. If I do that, what am I gonna found, right? I guess another colony wouldn't be bad then. Yeah, I could certainly use another colony here. We just got the robots, right? Robots would involve tugging this. Quite a distance, I would imagine. There's also biometric being needed here, which is nowhere to be found. I'll have a look down here, maybe. Oh, well, I'll have you know that there is biometric available. Is you in range? Sure, out of range of that. I could move you in range. I think that's good enough to do. Yeah, that will probably be in range as well. And there's one here too. Wow, okay. Yeah, I might want to finagle with that. Okay, so if we're going to do so, let's do it now. We don't even need to move it a little bit. That might be enough. Not quite. Either we go beyond this thing or just right in front of it. That'll do. We'll have to hyperlane this anyway, so it doesn't matter. We get the 2-way right here. We get like, wow, look at that, right? All sorts of prosperous plants like that. One connection, I think, made like 2 prosperous and a successful. Right. What about you? Oh, pretty close as well, right? Yeah, that biomatter there is kind of amazing. Same here, actually. We can get a biomatter lab now. It's now possible. We can get the ability to just... Ah, that one's out of range. But, never fear. Gravitic tugs are here. Just tug it in closer. And further down, actually, so we can eventually access that as well. And have it output its things to various locations. Which gets us 3 additional science, right? Like the goal was these, right? 1 more point of science to get them. Is there an easy way to get 1 more point? Yeah, this one, right? That would be a way to get 1 more point before the end of the year. I don't think it would be more of a waste of time. I think we'll just get to the next year and then get the things. In that case, is it a good idea to invest 20 more? Well, I mean, if we could get more back, yes, but science is 18, right, which is a bit less than 20. We're at 5% as well. This one's at 8%, I would imagine, yeah. Well, that's, you know, that could eventually solve it. Swap would be great, but it's not available. It's not really what we're looking for. You get some things swapped in, right? Like some chips swapped in here, maybe. I don't know if that would make it with upgraded. I mean, we can always scooch it over as well, right? With graphite tugs. We'd like tug it right there. So we can get an ore. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 connections, right? For a plant making chips. If we could like, somehow get it. Like, we can't get it in here because this is locked off, right? We can't move that. We could move this one over here and then swap it. Some shenanigans, right? If those are the techs we want. So design your own galaxy, right? Sort of. Sort of, kind of, not really. Well, this would be an additional potential source of biomatter as well. This one's another export. This one's another export. So all that. We could upgrade it with. That would give you another successful partner, right? We'd make another prosperous plant there, if I wanted to. 6 goods though, right? That might be the difficult part. There's extra chip here that still don't really know what I'm going to do with that. I mean, I guess if we made goods here, right? There's only one user. No, that's not true. This Arctic here could use it. With hyperlanes, right? I'd imagine it's maybe in range too. This seems like it would be okay. Then I guess we'll make some goods here. There we go. Oh wait, hold on a second. Oh, we can always check, right, if it's in range. Hyperdrive, are you in range? Are you in range? Not yet, right? Is it important that that's in range? I don't know. You are also out of range. Can we perhaps move this plant over a little bit so it gets a little bit closer to the places where it needs to send its things to? And then build a goods factory, right? And then invent hyperdrive in order to be able to... Well, that will still be out of range, unfortunately, for a while then. You know, that's 2 more goods we used. With hyperdrives. 2 more goods to get the mission done, and 1 science thing. We also got hyperdrives, so, you know, there's a point of science I wanted to get for quite a while. Any more points of science we wanted to get for quite a while that we can now get? Not quite. Although there are some robots available here. And there. Here and there and everywhere else. Get it up to here. But you can't. Which is the main issue. So let's take stock of how much science we got and how much we want. I think what we want is stable jumps, transposition, and nullifiers. We don't necessarily need cybernetic bodies. If we get, you know, swapperoodle. So we don't need that much actually. 56, 96, 98. If we wanted technocracy, it would be a little bit more expensive, but 98 science or so. Also, if you get a tech, we get a inventory discount. So if we just get inertial nullifiers, Then we get a discount for Vittori, and then, you know, the other techs become cheaper. Or we could get stable jumps first, right? Either way, what we should probably be aiming for is actually probably unlocking some of these. A very cheap way to do so would be to get a colony here. I think this is an okay location for it. Now I should be careful with making this connection because I might need it to get to truck the goods world in here that I want for these two. This one's already at -8, but okay. We'll take the robot actually. That'll make things a little easier. That helps. Although, hold on a second. No, that does not. The problem is, right, we need this. Can this swap over here? Probably not, is the problem. Like 1 science point short of really being able to use this very well. This connection can just be made though. No problem with that one. That one doesn't obstruct anything. Well, this one needs to get, you know, get its butt over here, because otherwise we'd be obstructing everything, and I want this connection so that you have 2 robots in here so we can send the biomass in here, and we want that connection, but we don't want to obstruct the route. So are there more like hyperlanes we can build? Probably. Can we do this one? No. What about this? Yeah, okay, let's do that. Why not? Can we get this ore? No. Well, we can get this one. I'm okay with that because otherwise it will become unsuccessful at some point. Do we want goods around here? I think maybe. In any case, we can get the swap or inertial nullifiers. Probably inertial nullifiers first, so we get the discount. Now swap's only 29. So we'll be able to get it next year if I want to, as well as stable jumps, perhaps. There's that, but it's... Okay, so how fast is this? I don't know if it's in range of swap, right? I want to find out if it is. Oh, it is. Okay. This will get complicated, right? With regards to like how do we most efficiently use our time, because now we can do anything, right? We can swap, we can, well, next year we can swap, right? Right now we can't. So it's just like how do we get the value? I don't think we necessarily want to build more science. We'll be able to get a little bit more, like technocracy perhaps, right? I don't know if we can afford that. Like that is, these two together are already like 62, 71. We only got 4 more years, so we got about 80 science-ish. Well, slightly more, 94. So yeah. This is like 71, right? 94. We got 23 more science out of this, so we can maybe get a reactionless drive as our final tech if I wanted to. Or perhaps drill bots, right? Are drill bots any good? Perhaps. I can get some here, for example, right? We would need some additional water, though, to really make them any good. Although over here, right, there's water available. If only there were robots available for the drill bots, right? Then we would actually become good. Or we could swap those in, right? Like we could finally use those ice balls. I guess, yeah, as a final tech, I guess drill bots would be okay. Or maybe first, right? So we can get the other ones quicker. wouldn't know. But anyway, the swap was available, so that means this can be done, so we can swap first. I guess we'll pre-build this connection. Can't build this one, because that would involve... I mean, I guess if we're going to swap and move, right? Although, do we need to? Like, just for the sake of argument, right? If I try to move this as close as I possibly can get it. I guess it's not going to be in range of both, right? If I just were to just double move this, right? Yeah, it's in range of both. It'll be in range of that too, eventually. And we can just sort of fix all these connections up. Doesn't that seem good? To me that seems good. I get 29 for swap if I wanted to get it. We might not need it. No, that's not true. I do want it, kind of. Because I'm seeing some things we can do. Although, maybe not right now. That's also a question. That will be in range, I think. So this one's available too. We can move it. Which we can. Hello. Hello. I guess there's a trade on offer, right? We can use this to get an additional input, perhaps use that. In any case, the point here was, you know, lots of more planets available like this. Can maybe put some goods in here as well, right? Can move you. Well, that's a good position for it. Make some goods, right? I guess it's the 40th planet. That's fine. We've got 600 money because of sleep replacement. We can also finally complete that last mission. Right, to increase our total production of goods. Establish a lab studying bots and get it to a ridiculous number of science. I don't think we'll do that. Get some ocean planets successful or prosperous. Do we have ocean planets that are not yet prosperous? No. But we do have ore producing planets that are not yet prosperous. I think we'll do that mission, and that's the final thing we'll do. Because we have the availability of, you know, things like stable jumps now. Which will allow me to probably prosper some worlds, I would imagine. There's water available as well, right? There's outputs for you. And for you. Sort of connect this to everything, right? Water, I think, is what's needed. Can we get it to enough locations that it's... Yeah, I think so. I don't think we need to move it anywhere. As long as... Yeah, that can be made as well. Okay, so what we want is... Yeah, we don't want the chip to go there because this one needs a chip. So we'll build it like so. So now, you know, we get a prosperous world there, prosperous world there. Although we could send it an ore instead. Which we need to do it. Actually, we can do this. Fine, send your chip over there, it's fine. And then we can make... Oh, you're already sending ore though. Ah. Tricky. Now what does this need? An additional import. That's already being sent though. What about that? That does count. What about this as an export? Ah, there we go. Task complete. Nice. Okay. Explore. No. Also no. Also no. I think we'll decline. Why don't we try to get as many prosperous planets as possible? Also, you know, not have any struggling planets anymore. This one's still there, struggling along. But like, it's so far away from everything, right? Yeah. I think that one's goner. Like, we could try to fix it, but it would take too much time. Like, with all our resources and things we can do, we can get more points by just sort of like expanding our existing network than we can get from trying to get... we could even do Starbirth as an alternative. There are some locations that could use energy, certainly. Like there's a missing chip here, missing chip there. Like, it does make some sense to do though. Let's go ahead and try to use up all these humans, right? Because those are... We can make a science, I suppose, here. We can make more prosperous worlds over there. And just, like, you know, like put them into planets that... Yeah, basically, Bakar, like, make all the minerals. Bakar always wants you to make minerals, and there comes a point where you have enough minerals, right? We have like 2 here, 2 there, and 1 there. It's not the most useful thing. Oh, we can send out a human here. And then if I click this button, will it become prosperous? Will it become successful? Well, it does become... You do get 2% more happiness from it, so it's fine. Because we're not really interested in the money at this point. Right? Sleep replacement has taken care of our money quite well. We don't really have a use for the human though. If I could send it somewhere then... could I send the water out? Oh wow, look at that. Sending out the water makes you successful, which, you know, gives you the ability to get a successful partner. And this one as well. Seems good. 100 and something rather. Right, 22.5. I think Starbirth is the best. Sorry, swap, but we're deciding to go for Starbirth instead. Because we can do. Well, that's not the best then. There must be better places though, like I would imagine. Like this one, perhaps. Yeah, that's a better one. And then maybe this one as well. Become successful. Can we turn you prosperous? That's already existent. So is this one's already extant as well. There's no other locations for it, right? No. We can make this connection work. Hold on, does this? Oh, it does. We don't need that energy then. I don't know if we want Starbirth at all, actually. We'll hold off on it. Because we can do normal connections then. It takes less time, right? As long as it doesn't do anything, I don't think I want to particularly invest in Starbirth as a connection that we've missed. It's very busy. Okay. That doesn't do anything. Why not? Oh, it needs 2 exports. Well, that's out of range, unfortunately. Like, I can't anticipate everything. We'd have to go back for years. There is a space-time version as well, right? We could potentially do that. Save us some time on some connections. But I don't think we have any more regular connections to make anyway, so... That's not really a huge difference. We could make more ore. No thanks, I think. Hey, there's actually a chip available here. We could swap that in here. Unfortunately, I have lots of places where I've, you know, enlightened people, and now I feel sad for doing so because there could have been a prosperous plant there. Ah, it's successful. It's fine. Good enough. There's one more chip here as well. Perhaps instead of that, well, this one needed a bolt use as well, right? Which it couldn't get. Like, not in a reasonable way. Humans as bolts. It's also available. Don't know where that would be good. I mean, we could maybe use it to solve some unemployment issues, right? There's one that could be used here, one that could be used there. That's two. One that could be used there, one that could be used there. I think that's maybe the tech. Because we could... This happens instantly. Wow. Alright, yeah, that was... We got 7% happiness from that. I think cybernetic bodies is the final tech. That seems like the best deal we can get. Also, this is prosperous, right? Yeah, 2 prosperous, in fact. Double prosperous. Alright, what does this need? One more import or export. Well... It's already taking a bot from there. Can it take a human instead of a bot? It sure can, and it can send the food back as well. That's another 3% happiness. Yeah, we'll take that. This area suddenly, right? Everything is prospering. That's good. Seems good to me. There's a water available here. Yeah, you just need one more partner. So, if you can send the water somewhere, like here, for example. There we go. Another prosperous plant over there as well. Alright, so which ones are we still missing? Because there's like a couple There's this one, and that one. Well, you can't send anywhere without making a new planet. Making a new planet takes too much time at this point. Right? We try to fix the ones we have instead of making even more. This one wants water, this one as well. But again, that takes a new planet, which we don't have the humans for anyway. We've tried to send those away, which are quite effective. There's a human available here that wants to go somewhere. Like, that would be ideal, but it's too far away. There's a food available here, but this also needs an input, and the water is too far away. Okay, then there's a water available here that wants to go somewhere, but, you know, all the food places around here aren't too far away. Yeah, so this human can also be a robot, because we have cybernetic bodies. But we can also just do that. It also sends a biomass back, which that now upgrades you. You just need an import or export of a human, which are actually, we're out. I think we've used all of them. We have no unemployment, just some shortages. A total of 14%. Caused by this planet and 2 planets that we had to abandon earlier on. Okay, so we got 4 more months left to do something with. Not sure what. We could say found a planet, right? What was our thing here? We had, I think we had export focus, right? Yeah, look at the score, right? Export focus is good because we have lots of planets that are exporting lots of things, but perhaps we can use more export focus somewhere. Because it's, you need to export, yeah, you need to have 4 exports. So could we get a planet that now has 3 exports to 4 exports, which would also give us some points. That would also give out some points. This one has 3 at most. This one has 2 at most. This one has hard to tell. I think it's 3 out of 5 that it's exporting. So can this send an ore? Yeah, we can send an ore to a lab. Which you might be like, but that doesn't do anything. Yeah, it does. 4, 2, 4, 6, 8. If I do that, it should become, yeah, more. So that helps. You get 350 base points from the export focus. Are there any more such cases of planets that are sending out 3 out of their 4 things? I have lots of planets that are sending out 4 things in total already. Is this one as well? But it can't send its ore anywhere, I think. Already all done. There's this one with lots of robots available. That we build. This was an excellent planet to build. Like, it's sending things out to so many things, so many places. Things out to so many, things out to so many places, right? I mean, we could found another planet, but then we're out of time, so that's no point to that. There's water here that would like to go somewhere, actually. Because this is also a planet sending out 3 out of its 4 things. So can we send that somewhere? Well, yeah, there's like 2 possible locations for that. Does it matter? No, not at all, because both are prosperous anyway. Is there anyone else that's begging for water? Well, this one would want an additional one, but it's already getting it from there. So there we go. That should then improve us further. Yes, it does. Okay. And then there's ore available. This is already sending it like here and already there as well, right? It's the third place it's already sending to. It's sending it here, there, and there. There's no other locations around here that want ore, though. Yeah, that's swap, right? But we can just tug it in, right? Already sending it out. Also only making 3 things anyway. We don't have we have enlightenment on lots of the plants. That I think it's kind of a mistake in the end, right? We could have had somewhat less enlightenment. Sometimes you want to be less enlightened. Yeah, it's too much enlightenment. Sending everyone to the guillotine. Yes. Is that it? This is a very good run, so I'm just looking around to see if there's more things we can do. Can be breached 45,000? Not quite. If we hadn't made the Enlightenment mistakes, yes. But with them, I don't think so. How much already? You're already sending out 4 ore. That's nice. It's like 3 food, some chips, some food. Out of range, unfortunately. Can you send it up there? Out of range as well. And that's out of range as well. I would imagine that's out of range as well. Yeah, it's just how much out of range? Oh, quite a bit. Okay. It's just the perspective that's. I guess this one would be fairly close, and yeah, it's pretty close. It doesn't quite reach it. This would be another case of if it send out 1 more food, then the export focus would make it more valuable. Water needed there. You can't do. Food from over here, can't reach here, but there's no point to that unless it gets water. There is no point. This one already checked. This one we already checked, I think, as well. There's also no opportunity to build another lab, is there? No. It's already outputting only 2 of its robots, though. There's really no other consumer of robots here. Some here. This one and that one. There's one here as well. That's out of range. I also wouldn't do anything. Just in general, it wouldn't do anything. Huh. Any place left to enlighten? No. Doesn't seem to be the case either. There's that, right? But that doesn't do anything, I think. Because the water won't reach. And even if it could, we'd have to move this in closer. And that would have taken an extra month, which wouldn't have allowed this to happen anyway. Because we would now be in January, right, with this? That don't apply. Right, we'll just do that, I suppose, and then... Oh, I don't know. Make a pointless connection somewhere? Let's do this one. Because we found another planet, we just make a struggling planet, and that doesn't do anything. So we end up with 2 spare months, basically, at the end. Still, we end up with 4, 3... 791 score. Without... Yes, we had the Vittori, but we didn't have any science tech, right? This is the highest I've gotten without any of the science technologies. Enlightenment ended up being not so great. Because we got some mission for goods near the end. I mean, it was better than exploring in the middle of nowhere, so... And you know what? This is the first time we've got Enlightenment. It usually isn't the tech that